for your death. Now that is something that we should be thinking about. And here this beautiful hadith of Rasulullah ﷺ, which is in Ibn Majah. Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhuma said, I was sitting among 10 people. I was the 10th of them because I was a little child at that time. I was sitting among them, and if you were to count them, you will count the big people first and then you will look at me last because I was a child at that time. So I was the 10th. He said, I was sitting among Abu Bakr and Umar, Uthman, Ali, radiyallahu anhum ajma'een, Ibn Mas'ud, Hudhayf ibn al-Yaman, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, when a young boy entered from the Ansar. I want you to picture as if we're sitting with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam 1,400 years ago. And he asked him a question, Ya Rasulullah, which type of mu'min is the best? Little boy wants to know, which type of Muslim mu'min is the best? Man ahsanul mu'minin? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, he is the one who is the best in character and manners. The best of the mu'min are the ones who is of best character and manners. When we ask a question, who is the best person, we say a mu'min. So a mu'min must automatically have the best of character and manners. Isn't that correct? You say someone's a mu'min, you say, well, he must have a best character and manners. Which is why sometimes we look at mu'minin today and we say, and this person calls themselves religious. Their character stinks. Their manners is down the drain. They go to pray salat mu'minin, but they park their car in the neighbor's driveway. They call themselves mu'minin. Isn't that correct? Because when we think of mu'min, we automatically think what? We think that they must have high character and manners. No, that's not true. There's mu'min and there's character and manners. And that's why the daughter of Shu'aib alayhi salam, she said about Musa alayhi salam, Ya abat istajirhu inna khayra man istajarta al-qawiyyu al-amin. Oh father, hire Musa alayhi salam. The best of those whom you hire is the one who is strong and trustworthy. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you choose a husband or a husband for your daughter, choose the one that has deen and khuluq, religion and character. Why not just say religion alone? So character and manners is the virtue that every mu'min is trying to reach. So one boy said, who is the best of the mu'min? He said, the one with the best character and manners. So then he asked him, which of the mu'mineen is the smartest and most intelligent? He said, the one who remembers death the most and prepares the most for his death or her death before it reaches them. He or she is the smartest and most intelligent of believers. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we live in a time now that Rasulullah ﷺ gave us many warnings and signs about. He gave them as clear as the sun is from the day, with some ambiguities here and there that can be interpreted as time goes on. He told us that there will come a time where people will be so hooked with their hearts on this dunya that they no longer think about death anymore. Death is the last thing they want to talk about. In fact, we do live in a society like that. In the media, in all sorts of media, at schools, the way the society is run, it's all about life, not about death. In fact, talking about death seems like you're crazy, something's wrong with you. Isn't that correct? They sit and say, well, these Muslims talking about death. I'm sure if a non-Muslim heard me right now standing here before you saying to you, the smart person is the one who thinks about death, they'll say you're the craziest people. You are the furthest away from smart. But when you put it in context, what does death mean to us? Death to us means that it's the end of your exam and now it is time to be judged for what you have done or what you have not done. It's the end of the exam. And I'm sure, I'm an educator, when we go to school, the best principal and the best teachers are the ones who constantly remind the student about the exam time. And then they tell them, be careful, the exam's not the end, it's what you get afterwards. They talk about their future, they talk about after year 12, after university, they talk about career, they bring in career advisors. They bring all these people who are talking about 20 years ahead. Isn't that correct? It's about the end of your schooling, the end of your exam time, and then the pay time. What will you receive out of your work? Isn't that correct? For a mu'min, this whole entire world is like that schooling time. It's the exam time. Some people sit at the front, some people sit at the back, some people have got the privilege of sitting somewhere on the sides where they can cheat a little bit better, or maybe at the back. You know how students look at it? If you sit at the back, you can cheat. The ones at the front, oh man, God help them, they can't cheat. So people look at your seating, some people privileged than others, isn't that correct? In this world, we also sit in a seating position. Some of us are wealthy and rich, some of us are healthier than others, some people are more poorer, other people have got more challenges than other people, and we assume that the wealthy person is in a better seating position. The poor person is in the seat at the back, isn't that correct? But at the end of the day, we all die. And the rich person and the poor person end up being exactly the same. Exactly the same.